Okay. Says that we are live. Hopefully that is true. Let me take the third banner off because we are not in the third sprint. Hello. Happy 4th of July. Happy Friday. Happy summer. Happy day 4 of Rough Draft Challenge. Apologies for not being here on Wednesday. I had an 8 a.m. dentist appointment that they pushed to 8:20. And then because previously when they had worked on my teeth, I had to ask for like additional local anesthetic, whatever the numbing thing is. They loaded me up good. Plus they had to do some of the anesthetic in my tongue so that because they were working on the bottom teeth this time. Anyway, so my tongue was still numb by the time that I was supposed to be streaming. So I didn't think that I could like really say hello. I could like barely swallow anything. So it was kind of a weird feeling of numbness on like half of my face and chin. Anyway, so but the main part of all the dental work is done. So I have to go back in August for like a 6-week cleaning checkup just to see like so that this dentist knows how fast tartar builds up in my mouth. Sort of like as a just check, and then also I guess how my gums are doing in terms of like after all the tartar is cleaned up. But I don't know exactly what they're looking for. So yeah, so but all of the like issues have supposedly been taken care of. So I have 2 crowns and several fillings. So hopefully all of my problems are going away. But yeah, and then I think I mentioned, I can't remember if I did, I don't know. Anyway, Mom thought that she had found a really good deal on some furniture, a sideboard / buffet and table set that was craftsman style, solid oak. And from the pictures that she sent us from the thrift store, it looked good. So Dad said, yeah, sure. We'll trade out what we've got for that. So we started bringing the smaller pieces home, and we asked a neighbor if we could borrow their truck, use their truck, or have them like drive us in their truck if they weren't comfortable. But anyway, so they have a truck, we no longer do. So we were going to utilize a neighbor's truck. But then they had to take their truck in for an oil change, and the mechanic couldn't get to it that day. So it's like a whole shebang. And then we started looking at the pieces a little closer, and they were not as antique as we thought. So while they were what appeared to be solid wood, they might not have been oak, at least not on the bigger pieces. The chairs were definitely solid oak, but I don't think the table was. And just like once we started doing calculations and like, okay, well, if we're going to swap this piece out for that, like, let's go through what is currently in our buffet and how would it fit in the new piece? Anyway, once we did the calculations, we figured out it was not going to be as useful as we thought it was. Plus the table and chairs are a good bit lower down, like height-wise, than our current pieces, which as my parents are getting older, they're having not as easy of a time folding their knees and bodies as they used to, which is something that I didn't really think about too much, a couple years ago. But now, as they are aging a little bit more, definitely having to consider that. And so it was not going to be an ideal swap, especially as the parents are getting older. So we decided we were going to take it back. And so after I had my whole like half face numbed, I worked to stuff mom's car and my car with the pieces. So we brought the 6 chairs home. We had brought the drawers home. We had brought the leaves for the expanding table, and we had brought like the padding topper for the table home. Anyway, so we had to stuff those back in the car and then take them back to the thrift store. Because we had not picked up the main carcasses of the sideboard / buffet and the table. So we explained to the thrift store people, we're like, look, they run a charity that provides safe haven for battered women and children. And so we were like, look, we're not asking for money back because we're just going to view it as a donation to your cause and your charity. Don't worry about it. Try and sell it to somebody else who, will need it and fits their lifestyle. And we just wanted to let you know we were bringing back the pieces to reunite and make the set whole. And the cashier lady she was like, that's a lot of money. It was $350 for all of the pieces, which, like, for solid wood is not that much. It was definitely a deal. Anyway, she was very, very kind. She was like, that's a lot of money. Do you want me to ask the manager if we can give you store credit? And Mom was like, sure, I guess. So she toddled off to the back and asked the manager, who was very kind, and said yes. So she wrote Mom a store credit paper, which normally that store is where my mom finds like all the baby clothes for really good prices for like my best friends, and our maintenance guy has a almost 3-year-old, and so she will occasionally find some really cute boy things, and it's just like that's one of her outing places, but it's definitely like she doesn't normally spend that much money. But yeah, so Mom got store credit and may not ever have to pay for baby clothes again. But honestly, she'll probably lose the slip before or like forget that she has it half the time. So whatever. Anyway, they'll be able to sell the pieces again, I'm sure. And it will make some family very happy to set themselves up. So, because they are nice pieces, they just don't fit for my aging parents and the amount of stuff that we have. So yeah, so I was doing all of that while my face was half numb. And I was just like, I don't think I'm in the place where I can like talk and write everything on Wednesday. So that was Wednesday for me, was a good bit of chaos. Which is why there was no stream. So apologies for interrupting the routine. But we are back and we are ready. So there you go. Rachel says, getting ready for more sprints. Yes. Pasco de Nicola, hello. Quietly entering to lurk. Welcome. Monique is here. Hey, y'all. Hello. Happy Captain America Day. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's a better way to think of it sometimes, especially since the small, ugly bill passed yesterday. Anyway, we're just going to try and not think about that today. So, Stace says, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Welcome. Monique says, I was out on both Monday and Wednesday. I don't actually know what he gave me. Honestly, I don't know. He's like, I know that he gave me some topical gel first before he went in with the needle, which was much appreciated. But he did have to like numb my tongue, and I thought he was doing it on accident, but he was definitely doing it on purpose because he stuck my tongue like 2 or 3 times. Which, they needed to do so that the tongue was not tense and in their way all the time, which is fine. Again, I have a small mouth and apparently a shallow palate, which complicates things, and my teeth are tilted inward on the bottom, which means that getting to where they needed to get to was kind of a pain in the butt. Anyway, Money says, on Monday you were doing paperwork. Wednesday you were watching K-pop Demon Hunters. Yes. Yes. Monique says, feeling under the weather today due to the usual monthly issues. Yes. Stace says, I remember those kinds of things. Yeah. Rachel says, how sweet. Being kind gets you kindness. Yeah, it does. It does a lot of times. So there's a lot to be said for buying used and saving the difference. Absolutely. Yeah. And most of the pieces, the truly antique, like solid wood pieces that we have in our house, most of them Mom has thrifted. The bookcases, Dad built the white ones. Dad and I built this one and two others that are in the office. But most of the fully solid wood pieces that we have are thrifted. Like my chest of drawers is one of a pair, and it's solid oak. The buffet that we have currently that we were thinking of getting rid of, but we didn't, is also one that Mom found for like $100 when we lived in Utah. And it's a very nice buffet. The dining table and chairs we have weren't necessarily thrifted, but they were from like a discount furniture store. So I feel like that kind of counts because they were not full price. And then we have a hutch set that was the grandparents'. So like most of the pieces are either like discounted, thrifted. We haven't found much like just on the side of the road, but definitely yard sailing and definitely thrift stores for sure. They're great. But you have to look for quite a while, and you have to go to like all the thrift stores in town, which we have two Goodwills. We have the Habitat for Humanity Restore, which is a great resource, by the way. We have the Project Safe. There's like a Southern Supply, which is like old doors and cabinets and window frames and stuff. So there's like somewhere between 5 and 8 like thrift or discount. Those are all just main thrift ones, and then like discount other stores are there as well. So Mom has a lot of places to go and check out, which is great because that's her entertainment. Stephanie says, hello, welcome. CB says you had a root canal done in 2018. Not fun. Yeah, no, I would not recommend a root canal. I was, trying to avoid that, which is why I started going to the dentist in the first place. Rachel says, yeah, not really in a festive mood after, yeah, but we keep going. We do. Stephanie says, my dentist damaged one of my crowns. Oh no, and I have to go in to get it fixed. Is he doing it pro bono? Because he should. Okay, he's not charging you. Okay, good, but not looking forward to. Yeah. CB says, my grandmother used to go antiquing quite regularly. There's an antique store near where she used to live. Yeah. That's one of the things we do is when we are looking at places to potentially move, we're looking at the town as a whole. Like, does it have hospital and doctor's offices? Because again, parents are aging, as am I, even if I don't like to admit it. What kind of grocery stores there are, and what kind of thrift stores there are for entertainment for Mom, things like that. But yeah, so definitely something to consider when you are looking to move, and sort of wondering what's in the community for you, type of thing. So yeah. Stacy had your first root canal in January. Oof. Sorry. Hopefully it is all behind you and you never have to do another one again. Same for CB. Hopefully you never have to do another one again. Stephanie says, oof, I'm sorry. You added yourself when you meant for Stacy. Gotcha. When you had the root canal, you were preparing for grade 1 clearance. Yeah. Yeah, that would complicate things. It always seems like a period of high stress when things like that happen. I remember my dad said that he got mono during exam week of undergrad, which I was like, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. CB's like, I hope not. I hope I never have to do it again. Steph is like, that's not fair at all. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Stacey says, my husband wants to move to the countryside when the girls are older. And I'm like, we are already middle-aged. Like, well, I mean, it is something that you have to be aware of in terms of you have to accept. Sorry, let me take a sip. Sorry. You have to accept when you move to the countryside. And when you move away from people, you are potentially moving away from assistance. So yeah, but as long as you're okay with that, why not? Why not? You definitely get more bang for your buck in rural areas in terms of land, but it comes with other issues. So, every place has issues. Everybody has issues. Subi says, I know. I took time off from practicing 2 weeks before and 3 weeks after treatment. You learned the pieces on the keyboard so that you had them somewhat memorized. Okay, that's good use of time then. Very good use of time. All right, let's go ahead and get things rolling. So since I was not here on Wednesday, I owe y'all a couple more doggos from the Daily Dog calendar. Wednesdays, there's Thursdays, and today's. Okay, so Tuesday's doggo is Walter. He really likes his cardboard box. You threw it away without even considering that he may want to nibble on it. 12 out of 10, one man's trash could very well be a pup's treasure. So here is Walter. Again, let me see if I can get this to focus. Come on. Walter's been a little shy. Maybe. Anyway, this is Walter. Maybe it'll eventually focus. I don't know. It's thinking about it, but it's not focusing. Walter is too shy. Let's try Wednesday's doggo. Wednesday's doggo is Juno. He'd like to join you on your trip if you don't mind. Doesn't care where you're going. 13 out of 10 would only ask that the windows remain down so he can eat the wind. Here is Juno very politely asking, come on. Please come on. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope, that trick did not work. But there is Juno in all of his fuzziness. I really wish I knew the trick. I wish I had like a button on my camera. Because by the time we get to the fourth one, it will learn. But then it won't go back to normal. Yesterday's dogs says, we only rate dogs. This is clearly a very happy sunflower. We hope their days are filled with nothing but joy and sunshine, but please, only send dogs. Thank you. 14 out of 10. There we go. There's the focus we were looking for. So there's the sunflower. Here is Juno. And here is Walter. Here we go. Okay. Then we have Luna. She was feeling pretty patriotic until she learned that America has a system in place to forgive its corporations' businesses' debts, but not its citizens' medical debts. 13 out of 10. I'm with Luna. It's a jaw-dropping thing. There you go. So Luna, Walter, Juno, and Sunflower. All right, there we go. And yes, now I am slightly fuzzing, but that's okay. Walter is cute. Some owls. He's lovely. Look at his face. You can see him well enough even though he's fuzzy. Okay, good. Team Luna, right? Yeah, Team Luna for sure. Stacy's like, I'm with Luna. I think that would be a great campaign platform. It would. It would absolutely do quite well. I mean, you know, there are places where the mayor is a dog and the towns function just fine. I'm not saying that we should replace Giant Cheeto with a dog, but I think we might feel better. I'm not. Anyway, let's just go ahead and get ready for the sprinty sprints. Hopefully you have your document open. If not, now's a great time to open it. Today we have the pig for our animal. Use your mind wisely. It's number 47 if you need a number. So here's our pig friend for today. Use your mind wisely. Pig appears to remind you of the right use of intelligence, a gift we all have that is meant to be used with love, compassion, and discernment. Intelligence means recognizing the value of intuition partnered with smarts and common sense, which leads to intelligent solutions. When the pig appears, you are called to respect your analytical mind and use it for the highest good, recognizing that all facts must be considered even when they do not fit with what you already know. The Spirit blesses us with wisdom when we allow the pig to nudge us into open-minded, thoughtful dialogues, whether with each other or internally as we mull over our ideas and what we have come to understand. You are intelligent and capable of clear-minded thinking shaped by the wisdom that you have accumulated and the intuition that will tell you when you have more learning to do because not all the facts are in. Now is a time that your decision-making powers are reliable, for you are in alignment with the pig's keen intelligence. So again, there we go. There we go. That is our card for the day. Okay. So, again, hopefully you have your document up. And we are going to get our otter. Start us off with. Okay. They have changed the look of the buttons in StreamYard, so apologies while I figure out what's what. When you get to the election part of the Start for President, you're going to skate over it. Probably for the best. Monique says, I'm going to rest now and work later. You pulled the 4 of Pentacles. It definitely feels like a mood. Currently drinking ginger tea that Mom made to help with your nausea. Nice. I had a matcha latte earlier, and then I have water now. So, Kate says, perfect for today. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Also, don't forget to vote in the picture poll. Well, it's not a picture poll. It's just a poll today. Which firework would your main character prefer? Sparklers, poppers. Those are the ones that you throw on the ground, and they're just like little, little pops. Roman candles, or the aerial chrysanthemums. So Roman candles are the ones that sit on the ground and like spew. And then the aerial chrysanthemums are the ones that launch and make the big round bloom in the sky. So which one would your main character prefer? All right, let's do this. 1, save your document if you've already been working. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I've clicked the show comments on stage. So things should show up maybe when y'all type something new. I'm not entirely sure if I like having the comments on screen or not, or if it just gets too busy. I don't know. Y'all tell me if it's too busy. But because I do like when y'all can see your own comments and sort of like say hi to yourselves, because I think that's funny. But anyway, so I managed to get 569 words. Some of this is more like brainstorming the next scenes. I think I'm gonna have to go back in with like Save the Cat and sort of make sure everything is aligning properly with the beats, because I just kind of free brainstormed when I was initially plotting these ideas out. And so now I'm going to have to avoid the like mushy middle situation and make sure that my pacing is on point. And to do that, I need to make sure that I am following a decent structure, or at least, choosing to either stay with the structure or deviate slightly from the structure, but having some sort of framework is good. So I'm going to have to do that. I don't know if I don't want to do that like right now or later. I'm leaning towards later because procrastination nation. But I did get 569 words. So it's a good start. It's a very good start. Close. And that was a 30-minute sprint, which meant that my average was 18.96, so we'll say 19 words per minute. Meh. Did okay. Also, okay, interesting. So, like, in my view of the top chat, let's share it, because why not? YouTube is always doing things. Always. So, we now have the top commenters, but they do not show up in the overlay. So there's no crowns in the overlay. Interesting. Maybe it's because the show comments is on the StreamYard side and not the YouTube side. I don't know. But like they're connected. So what's up with that? I have no idea. Anyway. Let's see. Is it Rehan? Just finished reading Anxious People by Frederick Backman. I asked if you enjoyed it and or got much out of it, but I know some people take time to process the reading before you like give opinions about it. So that's fine if you're not ready to share. But I think there's like a Netflix show or a Netflix movie about it. I feel like I saw a trailer at some point for that. I don't know. Rachel got the alternate meats out and the Brussels sprouts seasoned with olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, and also a lovely spice blend that you found all ready for grilling. Nice. Excellent. Our ribs are on the stovetop because we boil them first until they get nice and tender, and then we take them out of the water, obviously, and season them, and then we roast or grill them at that point. Because that way it gets the connective tissue like really nice and soft, so you don't have to like chew it. Lexi got 1,038 done. Very nice. Very good. Stephanie got 503. Yay! Had to stop to do quick research too. Nice. 503 and research is very good. Stacy got 11 words. You got distracted. Hey, it's 11 more than you had before, so we will take it. Trisha T, hello. 1,046 words. Nice. Still writing scenes for the future. Yeah. Sometimes that's always sometimes it's easier to get the scenes that you're not supposed to be writing right now Somehow it's always easier to do that. I don't know how we trick our brains into thinking that the scene that we're writing right now is not a scene that we're supposed to be writing right now. So it's like can we psychologically like trick ourselves? I don't know. Somehow. Please, somebody give me a button to press to like fool my brain, right? Stacy says you need 800 words. Okay. So we may have to do more than 11 this next time. That's for sure. 559. Very nice. Very nice. Hubs has no patience for ribs, so he got other picnic stuff. This is your chance to get things grilled for food prep for the week. Nice. True. True. You had too many distractions for word count, but you estimate like 270-ish. Nice. Excellent. Rachel says, I have 150 XP. Okay. Yes. So if I click on a crown, it shows the like order of who's commented most for today's stream, because apparently it changes each stream. It's like it doesn't hold the crowns for you type of thing, but it's just for the stream. It's for comments and what else? You can collect XP points by sending live chat messages, super chats, or super stickers, which like you don't need to do that. Not for me anyway. But yeah, like what do you do with the points? What do you do with the points? You don't like the crowns. Yeah, it feels a little weird. But it's like, okay, who's commenting the most today? Okay. Well, like, I don't know. Is there an option to turn it off? I can turn off the reactions, but that's like the heart stuff, and that's cute. The like hearts and and these thingies down at the bottom. Those are fun. I don't know how to turn off the crowns. 75 XP for Stephanie. Stay says, I wouldn't mind different colors for names so that you can find your name a bit easier, but that's minor. Yeah. You clicked on it, it's cute, but shouldn't we get to purchase some sort of emotes or get like a fun little thing for the chat with the points? In Twitch, you can do that. Yeah. You can use those to tell a streamer things or to set something apart in the chat. Yeah. And I think there are like channel emotes that you can buy type of thing, buy with your points. But I don't have any of that set up. Yeah, so I am basic and do not have things. So, I'm sorry. Anyway, so at some point, maybe I don't know how to. Oh God, I don't know how to. Okay, there we go. Okay, turned. I was like, how do I get out of the emotes section? Oh no. Area 51. Hello. Managed 512 new words. Excellent. And reworked an earlier paragraph. Fantastic. This was hoisted on. Yeah, and I'm not sure if this is like a beta test, or if like everybody has it at this point. I don't know. I didn't see anything coming into the YouTube side of things. And I'm sure it's also because this is a live stream rather than a edited video, because I don't think they do that for the edited videos. So that's not something you can't like earn a crown on a normal video, I guess. But I also wonder then if somebody goes to a replay, would the crowns still be there? I don't know. If you're watching this on the replay, take a gander over at the chat and see if Rachel still has a #1 crown, or if the crowns have disappeared, or if it's somebody else. So if you're in the replay gang, leave a comment as to whether or not Rachel is still #1. So Kate says, finish the blog post. May I share? Yes, you may, because we are headed into the second sprint, which is the self-promo sprint. Good, nice, good segue to keep us on track. Thanks, Kate. Oh, and also your username is back to your Kate Space M, because that was a thing the other day where it was like it didn't look normal, but now you have the proper capitalization and spacing, and I'm like, it's normal again, yay. Okay, so I'm going to put a star on Kate's link because that's going to be the first self promo. Also, if you are in need of a new journal, aren't we all, right? Tifosi, which they have, I have a couple of their journals. I haven't like fully used them yet, but again, I'm not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. I wish I was, but I am not. But Tifosi is having a mix and match sale where some of their A5 size, which is like standard size, standard-ish size notebooks are 2 of them for $40, which they're normally like close to 30. They're normally between 27 and 30. So they've got quite a few to choose from. Some of their Moonlight Melodies, some of their Art Decos, some of their florals. It's kind of hard to see the design on those in the shared space. The Follow Your Dreams, the Sun and Moon. So this is not all of them, all of the designs, but quite a few of their designs. And then, of course, you can read all about their quality and all that kind of good stuff. Anyway, and then they have their normal, all kinds of good stuff. So I have this one, and I have this one, but in dark brown. So those are the 2 that I have. So just FYI, they're on sale. I'm like, do you need a new notebook? Because I'm not supposed to be shopping for them right now, but I'm like, they're so pretty. Can't somebody else buy them and show them to me? Anyway, let's do this. Let's do another sprinty sprint. We had the otter. Do we want to do the hedgehog or the teddy bears next? What you think? Hedgehog or teddy bears? Stacey says the help center says it will show the grounds in the chat for as long as the chat shows. Interesting. Okay. Kate says I see the username. Yeah, it was strange when it looked different. You just got back from a Tim's run. Is it Tim Hortons coffee? Is that correct? Did I get that correct? Looks like there may be a way for you to turn it off, but I don't think we can do that as a viewer. I'll have to look on the back end then in YouTube and see if I can turn it off. Stacy votes for purple teapot. All right, we can have a silent purple teapot as long as you promise to tell me what music you're listening to, because I am nosy and I want to know. Oh. All right, so purple teapot. Again, it is silent, unlike the more recent ones that we've had. But the smoke can be mesmerizing. So watch out for that. All right, let's do this. 1, save your document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4 is make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes. Don't forget to vote in the poll. Don't forget to do your self promo. And don't forget to take a break if you need it. So 1, save, 2, sip, 3, stretch, and 4, snack break if you need it. Okay, here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Well, apparently I was not muted. Hopefully my typing did not bother you. Was I unmuted the whole time? Oh well. Sorry about that. I did get quite a few words. So I got 1,230, which is great. I guess that first one was just a warm-up for me. So average of 41 words per minute, which is great. Also did the link parade in the chat. Rachel says, never heard a peep. Okay, good. Well, I do have supposedly like the background noise turned off. So somehow or another, maybe it cut out my typing, which would be great. I did do the link parade, so don't forget to follow your fellow writers. Here is Kate's blog, Kate 8's Writing and Reading Ideas.blogspot.com. Make sure you check it out. I suppose we were talking about the crowns. So I have moderation activity, timestamps, and reactions, which is, I think, the like hearts and smileys and stuff down at the bottom. It could maybe include the crowns, but I'm not sure, so I'll have to look into that. But yeah, Stacy started that sprint with a bio break. Kate says, yes, Tim's is Tim Hortons. 2 oat milks and 2 sugars, your daily dose. Nice. Here is Pasqua de Nicola's channel. Here is Monique's channel, Miss Ocampo writes. Here is CB's channel. Here is Stacy's channel. Here is Rachel D. Adams' channel. Here is Stephanie's channel. Here is Kate M's channel. Here is Lexi's channel. Here is Trisha T's channel. Here is Area 51's channel. So don't forget to follow your sprinters and those you see in the chats and the people that you go to their sprinties. Sprinty sprints. Stephanie says, so much for writing that one. Admin work that sprint. You have a friend who helps manage your online shop and had to drop things to help her, which you do not mind because it's your shop. Very true. Stacey says, I listened to a video and now you have on the Rasmu. Specific song is In the Shadows. Nice. Kate says, I really like Pro Writing Aid. It's a great extension to Google Docs, and so you have been editing. Nice. Had to go. Thanks for the sprints. You'll see us next time. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. Rachel says, I never heard a peep in terms of like me typing up a storm over here, which is great. Lexi says 1,304 done. Excellent. Stacy got about 350 words. You need about 450 to hit your minimum for the day, 650 for the daily word count. Nice. You can do it. I believe you. I believe you. Trisha got only 921. Got distracted. Hey, 921 is great. It's great. Becca says, hello, coming in at the end. Welcome, welcome. We've only done 2 sprints this far, so we are going to do a third full sprint. So don't worry. We've got another sprint. So Stacey says, hello to Becca. Welcome. Rachel says, oh, 2 of our other author tubers did a thing. A thing? What kind of a thing? I'm going to have to follow the link. Rachel is making vague statements that make me curious. Urban fantasy. Let me just pause it so that I don't get. Urban fantasy horror. Fairy Godmother by Laura Nettles in Tiny Shivers. Very nice. Very nice. Yes. Okay. Read by Gwenna. Okay, gotcha. That's why it's 2. I was like, hang on. It's Laura's channel. What is it? Here we go. So yes. Becca says, hi, Stacy. Stephanie says, no worries, but hopefully you got a few things worked out on the back end of your shop. Excellent. Good. Good. Okay. We need another sprint. So let me pick a timer. I think I really like the bear hug. They're so cute. So we're going to do bear hugs. And we're going to change the banner to third. And I will have to go refill my water because I only got that much left. So I'm going to have to get some more water during this sprint. So if you see me disappear for a few moments, that's why. All right. So 1, save your document. 2, make sure you take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine. Roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that was number 3. How'd we do? Okay, 857 that time. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, don't forget to save your trackers. Don't forget to save your documents. All that good stuff. How'd you do? How did you do? Okay, hopefully we have bookmarked Kate's blog as well as the reading of one of Laura's stories, which is this one. And I did refill my water, which is good. Stacy says I have hit my minimum goal of 1,000 per day. So your document is now at 4,002 words. You do need 200 words to hit your daily goal. And you might like to do a bit more to just bank a few words to have a day off later this month, which is true. Yeah. Because the further into the month you go, the harder it is sometimes to keep maintaining that pace. Yeah. Area 51 says, great job, everyone. That was a fantastic sprint. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad you did well. Becca got some more editing done. Fantastic. Good, good. Also checked into your flight for tomorrow. Nice. You got everything packed. You've got everything set out other than like the stuff that you're going to use tonight and tomorrow morning. I'm assuming that you were all prepped. Hopefully so. Stephanie says almost 400 words that time. Not great, but it is words. So also very great. Exactly. Any words is good words. Right? Right. Area 51 got 651 that time. Excellent. Good, good, good. Rachel says, we're moving along well in book 4 rewrites and also setting up book 5. You've gotten to chapter 5 so far. Nice. Very good. Very good. Tanishq is from India. Welcome. Becca says, I hope so, meaning like in terms of your packing. You've checked 40 million times that your passport is in your bag. Yeah, which, I mean, you should continue to check that. Just make sure. But yeah. Yeah. That is a thing, is making sure that you have your passport and your documents. Yeah. Yeah. And then whatever you cannot stand to lose in the bag that you are taking with you onto the inside of the plane, because too many things about lost luggage or like luggage that gets stopped at the like layover portion. Yeah. So everything you need, like absolutely need, cannot live without, goes with you on the inside of the plane where you're sitting, not under the belly of the plane. So just in cases. Which means any medications stay with you at all times. They never get packed into the check-in. Any paperwork that you need, any electronics that you need, absolutely with you on your person. Maybe you change clothes just in case on your person. Like nothing in extremely important goes in the belly of the plane if you can't help it. I mean, if you can't, yeah. Anyway, whatever. Becca says, I'm only bringing a carry-on and a personal item. You managed to pack everything without having to check in a bag. Very, very good. Very good. Excellent. Becca says, but just in case, I put an air tag in my carry-on. Yeah, because sometimes if the things are the overhead bins are too full, they will sometimes request that you check a bag. Yeah. Stacy says, it's been so long since I've had a layover that you didn't even think of that. You never had a problem with putting things in the belly. Well, so as a child and as a young teen, we always flew standby. because my mom worked for Delta for 35 plus years. So we always flew standby, which meant it was free as long as there was room for us. Mom had really good seniority by the time she hit 35 years. So there was always a possibility of us not getting on the plane, which meant if we had stuff to check, it might fly without us and then get lost. So we never, ever flew with checked bags if possible, because there was always a possibility of us not getting on the plane, or if we got in and then the paying passenger who didn't, manage to make it to the gate in time, we could be asked to leave the plane. So it was like we never, ever packed for the belly of the plane. But even so, like when we had to travel long distances, we would usually pay for a permanent ticket and not standby. But that meant that sometimes if we had a layover, again, like things get lost, things get, not on the right plane type of thing. If you had to change planes. What 2 years ago? 3 years ago? I think two. When Southwest had that fiasco during the winter storms. My brother's family was flying from Colorado to South Carolina because it was easier to drive to her parents' place there, or have her dad pick them up. And so my sister-in-law had packed all the luggage, all the presents, which, with 3 boys, there's a good bit of clothes, plus themselves. Then all the Christmas presents. So she had packed all that and had that ready to go in the belly of the planes. And it was an absolute fiasco because the planes couldn't take off. They wound up deciding to drive. But the airline Southwest refused to release their luggage to them because it was a madhouse. So they told my brother and sister-in-law that they had to pick up the luggage from Greenville, South Carolina, because it had been counted as inventory, and had to go to the destination. So she said, okay, all right, I guess we'll meet it there. And they never did. They never shipped it. It never arrived. So she flew back early because she had to go back to work, and the boys had a little bit more time off before school started. So they drove back at their own leisure. So when she flew back to Colorado, the airline delivered the luggage to their house in Colorado. So it never went to South Carolina, which is what the airline said that it absolutely had to do. It never did that. They just delivered it back to their house for them. And she's like, well, it's a good thing I arrived the day that I did. Otherwise, it had been sitting out on our front porch. So it was insanity. So we just never, and there have been stories like that sort of all along. So we always just pack for inside the plane with us. Never any underbelly stuff. So yeah, you feel like it's better that way. I think you always have everything with you. Exactly. There are no direct flights, so you had to do a layover. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and call it here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday and the rest of your lovely weekend. And I will see y'all back on Monday if I don't get a wild hair and go I need to write. And I want company. But if that happens, I'll just do a pop-up. So I will hopefully see y'all next week. Enjoy. Stay safe. If you are intending to do fireworks tonight or this weekend, please do so safely. Make sure you have a bucket of water nearby. Make sure you don't point fireworks at each other. Make sure if you have children and you have fireworks that they know the safety rules for fireworks. and enjoy all of the holiday grilling that is going to happen this weekend. So, and don't forget to save. Obviously. Oh, poll. Thank you. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you. Thank you. In terms of which fireworks do our main characters prefer, 47% prefer sparklers. Just a little bit of sparkle, just a little bit of fun, something minor, something not super dangerous. 36% prefer the big fireworks that go up in the sky and make a big full bloom. 15% prefer the Roman candles, and none of our main characters like the little popper thingies, which fair enough. They're not super exciting. They're just loud. Fireworks safety reminder. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate the reminder. Thank you. All right, y'all. Thank you, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.